Today, I feel very honored to be here to share my personal experiences and some tricks that can hopefully help you with your IELTS reading test. ជំរាបសួរ My name is Khun Pichponleukanika. I was an ESL student at BELTEI Campus 4. I was also one of the candidates for the previous IELTS test that took place after the long arduous period of COVID-19, in which I scored 8.5 for reading skill. Today, I feel very honored to be here to share my personal experiences and some tricks that can hopefully help you with your IELTS reading test. Now, let us not waste any more time and get straight into it. The most important factor is, of course, myself. This past few years, I have taken a liking for reading all sorts of books, ranging from graphic novel to educational books. The reason that made me like to read is because it is a very entertaining way to gather knowledge on different fields of study. But that isn't the only reason why. Reading is also a very good way for comprehension skills and expanding vocabulary range, which is very crucial for IELTS reading tests, since the main purpose of the test is to see how well we can deal with texts that are normally complex and then with information. So what I did a few days before the test was reading, and it does certainly help with my translating and processing speed. Another point is practice. Practice your skimming and scanning skills on mock tests that you could find from online sources and from the official IELTS website. As for me, I was told that I have to take the test a few days before the test date, which means I don't have much time to prepare myself. So what I did was focusing on my weaknesses, which is titling the paragraphs and the true false not given part. I practiced that sorts of questions a lot, and while doing it, I try my best to analyze why each answer turned out the way it is, because I personally think that trying to understand the questions and the way it works are some of the most efficient way that could help with improving reading skills. Also, as the saying goes, practice makes perfect, and doing mock tests could give you a better understanding of how the tests work as well as the levels of difficulty. Getting used to the structure of the test and being able to correctly time yourself is actually very important. What I have learned from the previous test is that the timing that the trainer recommended you is not necessarily what you need to follow. You have to assess the situation by yourself. During the test, you should try to keep a clear mind. If you have spent too much time on just one passage, you have to move on to the next one, regardless of how much or how little you have done in that part. Finish the other passages first before you move on. Before you go back, I would recommend to leave yourself some time to check again. The spelling, the S at the end of the word, everything. Just one misspelling could make you lose your score, so leave yourself some time to check them. The last point I want to mention is mental health. Mentality has a huge effect on brain performance, and it can also cause physical issues. Since both our body and brain are connected, when we are stressing out or having anxiety, it is very much possible that an upset stomach or a headache or even worse shaking can happen, which is not favorable for test taker. Unfortunately, due to the fact that everyone is different, there is nothing much that I could say to help with this. Just try to stay positive as much as you possibly can. Try not to let your negative thought consume you. And if you have time to overthink, perhaps consider using that time to build up your self-confidence by improving your skills bit by bit every day. And don't forget to leave yourself some time to relax. In the end, your effort will pay off. As a matter of fact, I was able to stay very carefree about the test because I did not make any assumption or prediction about how hard it is going to be. Instead, I kept myself in a very positive state. While I am mentioning this, I would love to take the opportunity to express my thanks to my family, my friends, my parents for always encouraging me and supporting me, especially my parents for never putting any pressure on me. Thank you. This is pretty much what I want to share. Hopefully I have made your time worthwhile. And one last word, there's no guarantee that any of this tip will work for you, so just do your best. Do not leave any room for regret. សូមអរគុណ សូមគោរពលា
BELTEI International University, the future of global leaders.